Lucas Live. It's a very special day here at Lucas Live. As you guys can see, I have the guest graphic up already for you guys to check out. It's over here. Yeah, look at that. I had to point in the opposite direction. We have Coach Sean Weatherspoon on today, the newly named coach of Canton, McKinley. We are excited to be here with you. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We are excited to be here with you guys. I'm going to go ahead right now and share this broadcast to my personal Facebook page. I hope you guys do the same. If you guys are watching us from Facebook, if you're watching from LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube, you can also share it. You can send it to your family and friends as a text message, or you can retweet it. Or if you just want to call somebody, text somebody, tell them to check out today's episode. I know you guys have been waiting on today's special guest and special episode. Today we are talking about basketball. Some of my people we're talking about coaching, we're talking about community. So to all my people who are watching on LinkedIn, what is the business relevance of this? Well, there's a business to sports. Sports is a business. And even in high school, how do we teach these young men who are going to be playing for Coach Weatherspoon what it's like to handle their business in the classroom and on the court? We are excited about this today. Welcome, everybody. I see people jumping in from LinkedIn first. My man, Travell C.W. Lynch, one of my first guests on my show. Welcome, my friend. Great guy. Thank you so much for being here. Kenny Paisley, this guy can, Kenny, can you still jump? I don't know, but Kenny could jump out of the gym in his days playing for Timken. Shout out to him and his great career and all that he's done in basketball and beyond high school. And now he has his own children, so I don't know what they're going to do, but if they can jump like you and play like you, it's going to be something special. What's up, China? So glad you're here. It's always good to run into you and see you. You're always doing great things. So glad to be connected to you. Keep doing your thing. It's always great seeing you. My man, David Woods. I got to share. I said I was going to share the broadcast. Hold on. Y'all got me excited already. Y'all already jumping in here. I hope you guys are sharing this broadcast with somebody, telling somebody about it. Let me make sure I share it as well. I don't want to miss it. You know, I want people to know too that we are live here at Lucas Live Media. Thank you guys who have followed us and have followed us on this journey. I'm so glad that my friend was willing to come on today, which I certainly didn't doubt. But I've seen him coaching and watched him do his thing, and I'm just so excited to have him on here today. And he had a lot of other interviews with a lot of people, and he will have many more in the future. But I'm glad he was able to stop by here at Lucas Live and talk to us this evening. It is a Sunday evening special. We are excited about it. Amanda Jean Dukes, welcome. Thank you so much to our producer. She got us together before the show. We appreciate it. She keeps things moving. We appreciate it. Kimberly Ann, hello. Glad you're here. Excited for this interview. We're going to talk about some stuff today. So y'all tell somebody, call somebody, text somebody, right? Like you're on your phone right now watching this. Okay, like hit share if you're on Facebook and share it to your page, share it to your groups, share it to your family and friends. Or go out of the Facebook for a second, out of the Facebook. I call it the Facebook, like it's old school. And call somebody, text somebody and say, hey, they're about to interview the new coach at McKinley, the basketball team. We want to hear what he's talking about. We want to hear about his vision for the school, for the team. There's a lot going on at the school and a lot going on in the community. What's he going to do differently? Call somebody, tell somebody. This is a great person who we want to hear from. So thank you for sharing, everybody who's put hashtag shared if you've shared the broadcast. We appreciate you guys for sharing. It certainly helps other people get all of us up. Legit Smith is in the building. He said he's gonna make you something special. He's gonna make a feast for the players, right? All right, legit, we appreciate it. I'll be there for the team feed. We'll legit make something fancy, something they've never had before, right? Like some salmon and something fancy. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Great guest, great supporter of the show. Shout out to my man, Legit Smith. We got Melvin Weatherspoon in the building. We in here. This is his brother. He couldn't be prouder. This is my guy. I love this family, man. This family, just an incredible family. The love and support they have for each other, it's unmatched. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, and it's just fun to watch. It's fun to see how they are. So shout out to my man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing everything we've been doing. Thank you for always supporting the show. Appreciate you so much, Miss Audie Everett. Welcome. She is she's the queen mother of Canton McKinley. She is the queen mother of Canton McKinley. McKinley Wakanda forever. She is the queen mother. She has raised and helped so many young people, including myself, be great student athletes. She was going to make sure you're in class and she's going to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do on the track or on the field or on the court. If you're committed to it, go do it. She raised great children who are athletes and cheerleaders and football and basketball players at Canton McKinley. So shout out to Miss Audie and Scott Everett. Shout out to them. You're welcome, China. Thank you so much for being here at Lucas Live. Nick McDaniel, what's up? What's up? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I see those people saying shared in the comments. Jill Thomas, welcome. Thank you for being here. Wonderful support of Camp McKinley and people and youth and all kinds of stuff. She's one of the people you want on your team. Tina, thank you so much. Good evening. Glad you are here. Welcome to the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Arnett Poor, welcome. Congratulations, Mr. Weatherspoon, she says. Thank you for being here on LinkedIn. We are glad you guys are joining us to talk the business of basketball, the business of student athletes. What does it take to prepare to be a great student athlete? This is a discussion we need to have. And we have the right person here today to help us have this conversation. And we have Miss Shirley Weatherspoon here. So glad she is here. This is the mother of our coach here today. She is just a wonderful, wonderful woman. Another person who just loves and supports people, students, the community, Canton McKinley. I mean, it's one of those people you know is going to be in the crowd screaming and shouting for all of us for many years. So some of you all don't know the impact you had on me. So I just want to say thank you. I'll tell that story another day. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna try not to do that. I almost got me. You guys know I started Lucas Live right after losing my mother in March of 2020. And it was in tribute to her. I had to go live. I had to go live. I had to show who she raised me to be. And I've had a great opportunity to do that. And there's just people in the community who don't know the impact they had on me, even when my mother was here, like Sean's mom. So thank you for being here. David Allen Bush, thank you for being here. Glad you joined us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you are here. Mrs. Pope, all the way from Tiger Town. You know, she's a Tiger, but she tuned in. You know why? Because it's going to be a problem for those Tigers. You know what I mean? They got enough problems, but it's another problem for him. Because, he's going to handle those Tigers. I mean, Tigers, I don't know how much they put into their basketball team because they put a lot into their football team. It's very expensive, so I don't know, but we'll see what happens. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Audie. Thank you so much. Jaisha Lilly, welcome. Thank you so much for being a longtime fan and supporter of Lucas Live. We love you, and we thank you for always being here with us. Thank you so much. Miss Tony says, congratulations, Sean. Thank you so much for being here and your love and support and all that you've done for the youth at Canton McKinley for many, many years, and continue to love and support them. Thank you so much for being here. We are excited. My lovely wife, Kareem Marie. What's going on, Kareem? Kareem, we were supposed to talk about your new event planner. If you need a digital, what is it? I said event planner. That's not what it is, babe. I got to get it together. All right. She's going to tell me, and we're going to advertise her stuff. She's doing some new things coming out. We'll be talking about it more. Make sure you're following her as well. She has a lot of great things coming and a lot of the great things going on. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, right? We're going to put it out there. We're going to make it happen. Some great things coming soon. Thank you so much for being here as always. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited today. Again, this is an honor and a pleasure for me. I've had the pleasure of streaming football and basketball games from Canton McKinley. If you guys didn't know, we were streaming all the basketball games. We streamed the home football games to Lucas Live Media, our Facebook, and then our website, lucaslivemedia.com. And then we streamed all the boys and girls home basketball games to Lucas Live Media. So if you have not yet liked and followed Lucas Live Media on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, go do that. And on LinkedIn at Lucas Tyndale at my name. If you haven't followed, please do. Write that down. Think about that. If you're like, I saw this because someone shared it, I hope you're not just here because somebody shared it. I hope you're here because you're following us, because you don't want to miss what's coming. We have a lot of other great things going on. Tonight, we have a special promotion from a business we're going to share, and we're going to have more of that in the future. More giveaways, more discounts, more things for being followers and fans of Lucas Live and Lucas Live Media. We want to thank you, and we're going to continue to find ways to give back to all of you. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to get things started now with our guest. I'd say he needs no introduction. I mean, the whole city lit up a little less than a week ago when the news broke that Coach Sean Weatherspoon was taking over the McKinley boys varsity basketball team as their head coach. We're going to get a chance to talk to him. We're going to get a chance to meet him. If you have questions for him, put your questions in the comments. We will get to questions as we can. But please don't be afraid to ask your questions. Make sure you hit those hearts and those likes wherever you're watching from. show some love, tell somebody about it. Without any further ado, I'd like to welcome to the show Coach Sean Weatherspoon. How you doing today, my man?
Hey, I'm good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing incredible. I'm excited to have you. As soon as I heard the news, see, some people hear the news, and I reached out to you right away. I did. I messaged you right away.
Yeah.
And they celebrate. They tell their family. They tell their friends. They get excited. I'm so blessed and fortunate to have a show where I reached out and said, "Can I get you on the show?" And within in less than an hour, we were already coordinating today and having it all worked out. So I just want to thank you for taking the time. I know you went to WHBC. I know you did stuff with Canton City Schools. I'm repository, whomever else. But I just want to thank you from me for taking the time to come on Lucas Live. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me, man. Honestly, it's been a crazy week, but I wouldn't want no other better way to end it. But, on here with you. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's been a busy week, so we're gonna talk about some things today. About your thoughts, your philosophies. First, just talk to us about getting that call. I don't know what that's like. You don't have to get into the details of that. But what was it like when you officially knew that you were going to be the head varsity boys basketball coach at your alma mater, Canton McKinley? What was that like?
man, honestly, it was crazy. I mean, just I was there 18 years ago. Graduated from there. I have been played there and won a championship there. and then, like I said, to be named, the head coach, it definitely was crazy. I'm blessed though. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
That's absolutely amazing. I couldn't imagine something like that to get to come back to your school. Now, you played for Canton McKinley, for people who don't know, and you didn't just have some years. A lot of people I played for Kent McKinley. I played football for Kent McKinley in the late '90s. So we got rings and things. You know what I mean? Like we it was really happening. And you
Yeah,
played
yeah.
basketball at a time where some things happen. Talk to people out there who may not know about your career at Kent McKinley from your freshman year throughout. Like you were a big part of the team. Talk to us about your career at Kent McKinley a little bit.
Well, coming in my freshman year, I was blessed. Me and my cousin, Jason Snow, we were blessed as freshmen to get moved up to the JV, roster. Through that year, we played well. And then towards the end of the year, we got moved to the varsity roster for like the last 5 games in the tournament run. Man, that was a great experience for me. Probably, honestly, the most fun Final Four run I had because it was definitely was unexpected. But it was great for us. We played well. Got great experience. Moving on to my sophomore year, we returned a couple of guys from that team. My freshman year, we lost in district championship to Maslin. I mean, I really don't want to say that on here, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll delete that later. No, that's real
right.
though. That's tough. That's a tough loss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna say that. I don't know if Sean Craver on here, man, but he had a couple of goal points in that game. They kind of changed the outcome. So,
Okay, okay. Shout out to Crave.
right, right. But we had a great run. Definitely, a young team. That definitely got some good experience as well. Then my junior year moved on. We made it back to the Final Four. Heartbreaking loss to Cincinnati Hamilton, who ended up winning the championship. And then my final year, we put it all together. And was able to bring home the state championship. So, it was a great career. Looking back, coaching now, realizing how hard it is to get down to a state Final Four. I definitely was blessed, man, and I do not take my experience for granted.
That's absolutely incredible. How do you think your playing for McKinley is going to translate into coaching at McKinley? And maybe you can say it's all the same. Maybe playing at McKinley helped you coach everywhere you went just the same. Or do you think there's something special about the fact that you played and went to as far as you could go to win a state championship and now bringing it back to McKinley?
I think it's special. I think it gives me a little of an edge that I wore that uniform. I grinded in those weight rooms. I grinded on Don Scott. Old Foster running up that hill and conditioning. I grinded through all that stuff, man, and to be able to actually be able to coach the program. I grinded through as a player. Man, it's honestly I'm speechless at times, man, just thinking about it. So I'm blessed, man. I'm happy though. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I think we're gonna work our tails off. Once we get going and put a good product out there on the floor.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about people in the community, teachers, parents, others who you would like to give some thanks to? When you look back at you being, because people maybe who are in the position that you're now in as an influencer of young people, right? Young people think of influencers as people on social media. They think of somebody
Right,
on TikTok that they've never met. They think of
right.
somebody on Reels that they've never known, right? But we know when we were growing up, our influencers were our family, the people in our community, our coaches. When you think back, are there any people who you'd like to say, thank you because the seeds you planted in me are now growing and are now about to feed another generation?
Yeah, outside of my family, a couple of teachers, growing up, Miss Harold from Magic, I'm sorry, excuse me, from Magic Elementary, Mr. Conrad, Miss McCracken, those teachers, definitely made a lasting impact on me. Growing up, also, going to the middle school level, Mr. Teachers like Mr. Largent, guys like that, definitely, had a big impact on me in my development. Going into high school from the working outside basketball side. A lot of people, if you ever worked out at the center, Buck, the custodian down there. So
Right.
he instilled a lot in me. Benny Frank, those
He
guys,
did.
coming up, just instill a lot of different good qualities in myself. And then I know I took that, and continue to hard and work hard, and I'm here today.
I love it. So bringing it now again full circle, when you think about that, what are you going to do as a coach that's going to make an impact, right? Like other than on the court, because a lot of people can figure out the X's and O's, right? I mean, they can draw a motion play or something. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's AAU coaches and coaches all over the place.
Right.
You watch the NBA, it's like they running that same offense that we ran. You know what I mean? It's like, what is it though that you feel personally after all those experiences and all those people who have made an impact on your life? What are some of the biggest things you feel you're going to bring to these guys that will help them on and off the court?
My biggest thing is life lessons. Using different lessons through basketball. And also learn like life lessons. Like being on time to practice. You working on building a habit to be on time to work. Different life lessons as far as how to overcome adversity. Different struggles. And things of that nature. But my biggest thing, I just want to make a lasting impact on these kids, man. Outside of basketball, preparing for life after high school, whether it's getting to college, or going in the workforce, whatever the case may be, whatever fits best for that child. I'm here to help it any way I can.
I love it. Children have changed. Youth have changed over the years. 18
Absolutely.
years ago was a long time ago. All right. And it's been even longer for me, right? I'm the class of 2000, so it's been 23. You know what I mean? So
Right.
the children have changed. Youth have changed. How they are engaged. I dare I say their attention spans have gone the way of TikTok, right? You better
Right.
say it fast because they're gonna keep scrolling past what you're talking
Right.
about, right? So how are you gonna capture the minds and hearts of these young people? How do you capture the attention? How are you gonna engage this new generation? And I know you just got done coaching. I know this isn't new to you, but when you think about it, and I mean, there's a lot of things they're facing. How do you feel like what are you gonna bring that's gonna help engage this new generation of young people?
I've been just being myself, not being something that I'm not. Not being a previous coach or somebody that the players looked at in a different way. Just being myself, just being Sean Weatherspoon, being Coach Spoon or whatever you want to call me. Being relatable to these kids, man. Just making an impact on them in any way I can. In the classroom or on the court. I'm looking forward to it, man, for sure. And I think my style, the way I carry myself, the way I act around kids, I think it can have a good impact on these kids.
I love that. I think that's so important that we reach out to them and make a difference. You talked about in the classroom. Let's talk about the term student athlete. What does the term student athlete mean to you?
First, student. It's all about student first. You can't be an athlete if you're not a student. You got to take care of business. I'm a prime example of you have to have a backup plan. I went through college. My last year, I had 1 year of eligibility left. I was done with eligibility, but I had 1 year of college left to finish my degree. So I wanted to finish that. So when I was doing that, I was training. Trying to my dream of getting overseas, playing professionally. Down in the urban league, I ended up tearing my Achilles. So that's a major injury in basketball, and it's very
Absolutely.
hard to come back from. So just me, having that year of want to finish school, you know what I'm saying, having that backup plan is definitely something I'm going to preach, that, the ball definitely stops at one point in time, and you have to have something to fall back on.
Let's go back a little bit. You just shared something about your own story. Talk to us a little bit about some adversity you faced, be it tearing your Achilles or maybe there's some other things. Who are you? People are like, how is he? You're a young man, right? They're like, wait, you know what I'm saying? The person getting this job should be,
But,
at this point, what these young people need is somebody who's been around, forever, right? So, if whatever you care to share, and again, it could be about the Achilles. What adversity has prepared you to be the coach of the boys' varsity team at Camp McKinley?
I mean, honestly, that injury was probably the hardest thing I had to deal with in my life. It affected me mentally, now not only physically. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't expecting something like that to happen to me. Just going through that whole rehab process, understanding the process of getting back healthy and taking care of business is something that I try to make or teach a lesson from. It was tough. Honestly, it really was tough for me. And I was in college, down in West Virginia, kind of by myself. Well, not by myself. I had my lady and things like
So
that.
talk to
With
us
me.
about that. So you came home. So were you playing college ball and then you came home and got hurt at home, or you weren't, or you were trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the next move was? Talk to
Well,
us about
I was done. My 4 years were done.
that. Okay,
College. So, but I had 1 year left to graduate. So, I
right.
wanted to make sure I get like a degree. So, like, I came home on Christmas break. I remember it was in December. Down there playing at the center.
Just hooping as normal, as you've done down there 1,000 times.
Yeah, went up for a rebound, heard a pop, look around like, man, who stepped on my foot, man? But and I ended up falling down, and I drove myself to the hospital and everything. But I knew it was something different. I always sprained my ankle or twisted whatever, but I knew it was something deeper than that. So, what I mean, like I said, that was definitely a tough time for me.
Yeah, that's overcoming injury and then looking at your career. Like you said, you're thinking, and you unlike a lot of people have not seen people or known people or had family who have played professional sports, but
Right,
you
right,
have, right?
right.
So it's not a pipe dream for you. It's not something that's like impossible. You're like, no, I know people. I have family members. I talk to them who've made it. So to lose that has to be a big deal. Talk to us a little bit though, when we think about that, about the legacy of your family. Okay, for those who don't know, if you could break it down a little bit for us, um, about the legacy of your family and Canton McKinley, to college to the pros, for somebody out there who's just tuning in, because we got people tuning in who don't know you fully or don't know your story. Talk to them about your family legacy when it comes to sports and Canton McKinley.
Well, it dates back to my great uncle Nick Weatherspoon. A Canton McKinley legend. Held a scoring record for many years until Raymar Morgan ended up breaking it. He played professionally, for the Bullets, also for Chicago and Seattle. But he was a great player, even a better person. Definitely, his impact on me definitely, was made. Uncle Charlie Weatherspoon also, played football for Cam McKinley, then ended up going to Yale. Very smart, intelligent man. My father, he was a great football player as well, Melvin Weatherspoon. He's in the Cam McKinley Hall of Fame. Um, my cousin Dave Greer, he played basketball. Cam McKinley played, Bowling Green, had a pretty good, not pretty good, a great, coaching career at the college level. I can keep going. My uncle Eric Snow, my uncle Percy Snow, my
Right.
uncle-in-law Garner Rivers. It runs deep.
It runs deep.
Yeah, it runs deep. My cousin Jason Snow, my cousin Jerome Snow, my brother Melvin. We all play. We all grew up. Excuse me. Watching all these guys and wanted to be a part of that program, wanted to be a part of that legacy. And it definitely, McKinley, is a part of the Weatherspoon and Snow name for sure.
And very humbly said, right? Because I mean, some people say your family built the field house. I mean, some people say the legacy is deep as well. I mean, and you guys are a humble family. You guys aren't a family that says we're owed something. We did something. We're owed something. I've never heard anything like that from your family, other than a love for and a desire to see the community come together, a desire to see the school get back to what it used to be and supporting of sports. And we're not that far gone. I mean, I think people just want to believe that the school and the community are united. And I think a lot of times people don't feel like they have a connection to, say, the coaching staff or whomever it may be. And there's some great coaches right now. What the girls team just did, phenomenal. Shout out to the Lady Pups and
Yeah, sure.
um, shout out, happy birthday, Snell. It's my Ariana Snell. Is her birthday
Okay,
today, I
okay.
believe. Shout out to her. She played for the girls.
Happy
Paris,
birthday.
all those young ladies, Coach Bowden, Coach G. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what they put together and what they're doing, what they've done is phenomenal. Shout out to Coach Hall and the boys football team,
yeah.
and what they're building and what they're doing is a testament to what is to come. And now bringing you into this, I think for so many of us is like, don't want to miss it. Let's talk about not missing this moment, because there's a lot of people who are excited right now, and the
Mhm.
only way they're going to know about what's going on at Camp McKinley is what they read in the paper. The only way they're going to know about what's going on at Camp McKinley is what they hear at Lucas Live or WHBC. They are not going to come into the field house. They are not going to travel and come see games. They're just going to talk about, oh, I'm happy for you, coach. I hope I hear about us winning. Maybe I'll come to the parade. What is your message to the community about the need to support these young men as they carry on their basketball careers at Camp McKinley?
I mean, it's a village. It's going to take a village to get it back to where we know, where we're used to it being. And like you said, don't just say happy for you, happy for the kids. You know, we want everybody in that field house supporting these kids, man, supporting being there, every chance you can, because it definitely makes a difference. When I play, looking up in those stands, seeing those stands full, man, it just does something to you. It makes you want to perform better. Make everybody there proud of you. Like I say, you want to put a good product on the floor. So definitely, just do what you say. Come out, support, man, and just be there for these kids in a positive way.
That's absolutely incredible, and it's something I know. Shout out to Dave Jingo. I know he's been working with some of the video, and he brought us in as Lucas Live Media to stream the home football games and basketball games, and we wanted to continue to tell the story, and not we didn't want to stream to give people a reason not to come. We wanted to stream for those who couldn't come, for people out of town. There are Camp McKinley fans across the country, across the world, but it
Right.
is important that we get back out there. The energy, there's something to home field advantage, and I didn't realize this as much until I went to. I mean, when you go to a Cavs game or something, you realize this. I went to a game. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, right? And I went to the NFC Championship at Lincoln Financial Field, and they were playing against the 49ers. So it was a handful of people who flew from California for the 49ers to come support this. The
Right.
rest of the stadium is packed, thousands and thousands and thousands of Eagles fans screaming and shouting and standing on their feet for 3 hours nonstop. And I was right there with them on my feet for 3 hours nonstop. The advantage that gave
Oh,
to a young Jalen Hurts and these young players, these guys they have a very young team, had to be incredible, right?
absolutely.
So talk to us about the benefit of home field advantage when you actually have a home crowd cheering you on. How does that feel? You're a player. So talk to us as a player. How does that feel? As a coach, to know that your players are feeling that. What is that like?
I mean, it just gives you that extra spunk, man, that extra go. They're just knowing that if I make a play, the crowd's gonna go crazy. You know, what I mean, the student section gonna go crazy. When I was over at Alliance, it kind of got back to that, man. The kids were, the support was there, man. The community was there, and I think that type of support is priceless, man. Yeah, just going in different gyms and seeing the attendance down, it's just to me, it's not basketball or excuse me, high school basketball that I'm accustomed to. And I mean, I don't know if anybody been in the field house lately, but the updates are beautiful. The scoreboard is ridiculous, man. It's like a mini arena. I guarantee you come in that field house and we have a great product on the floor, you'll have a great time.
I love it. I think, yeah, if you haven't been in the field house in a while, first of all, the field house is historic. We
Yeah,
sometimes in Canton don't realize how blessed we are. Our kids play football on a mini NFL field. Our basketball players on playing on a mini NBA court. I mean,
abs-
colleges. There's colleges that wish they could play in the field house. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That don't have that type of venue that they're playing on, right? And we have such great facilities, and we need to be out here supporting our young people. People often wonder when they come from out of town, they're like, how do you guys have this kind of, what is this, right? And it's overwhelming. My son
yeah.
played for Hoover. My son played in Canton City, and then he played for Hoover. We lived in North Canton. And he always played great at the field house, which was fun. But he was like, it's different even looking at the basket because you got them baskets that are sitting off the field and the depth perception looking through that glass.
Yeah.
That's real stuff. That's not every gym you go in. Some of the gyms you go in look like Fresh Prince when he was dribbling around the court looking like a little gym and Carlton trying to throw the ball at the basket. And you come to the field house and you're like, this is a real arena and it really gets you into it and it's really, really a big deal. So for people, come out, check it out, support it.
Yes.
If you're here watching this show and you're like, I love this, please, we're many months away. By then you could we've had football season and all these other we're going through track season right now. We got a lot of other sports, a lot of other stuff. Easily by then you could be saying, oh, it's cold and I don't want to go to a game. But come out and support these young people. It really does matter. So, Coach, when you think about your coaching career, talk to us about that. People out there who know or don't know, talk to us about this isn't your first rodeo. This isn't your first go round. You didn't just, finish working at the business X and show up here like, hey, I played here. Can I coach here? You earned it. You deserve it. You have you've been coaching for some time. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, when I graduated college in 2012, moved back home, and was approached by the coach at that time, Keith Nash, to join the staff. So I was with Kevin McKinley for about 3 years, from 2012 to 2015. My last year, I was coaching under Brian Bolden, the current girls coach. And when I moved up to Cleveland area, I ended up getting a job with Beechwood High School. I was there for 2 years. My second year, I ended up taking over towards the end of the season as an interim head coach. I had a pretty good run in the tournament. Ended up losing in the district championship. Then from there, I moved on to Euclid as a JV head coach and also the varsity assistant. We had a great year there. Ended up winning the district, and then I'm losing in the regionals in overtime to St. Edwards. So after that, I was blessed to get my first head coaching job at Maple Heights High School. I was there for 3 years. It was a great experience for me, man. The kids were great. The support was great. The community was great. And then last year, I took over the Alliance. Again, a great time. The kids were, very receptive to me. The coaching staff I had was absolutely incredible. The community support was incredible. I had a great time. But like you said, man, I definitely earned, and worked my way up. But to think about it, I'm definitely blessed, man. I've been coaching for, a total of 13 years, and to be able to get three head coaching positions, man, it's nothing but God, man. Nothing but God blessing me and putting me in this position, as well as me, working hard and trying to earn everything I get.
I love that. Recognizing, I think there's an important combination of things that goes on in life that we have to recognize. Everybody, from the craziest talking rapper to every player to everybody, is like first giving honor to God. Right? And
Right.
he'd be like, but everything I'm talking about has nothing to do with God, right? It was the furthest thing from God. But recognizing there's an element of God is doing something and we
Absolutely.
have something to do, right?
Absolutely.
It's not this magic genie in a bottle. God is going to give me this. I'm going to sit here and wait on the Lord and just wait and do nothing. That is a false theology. That is not real. God is
Right.
not giving to people who aren't going to do anything with what he sowed. It's the parable of the sower. It's like, if I've given you something, what are you going to do with the talents I've given you? What are you going to do with the gifts I've given you? I've given you something to give back to others. I've given you seed to plant, grow something, and take some seed from that and plant it into something or someone else. And so many people miss that. They don't position themselves. They don't work hard. You worked hard as an athlete, as a student athlete. You didn't rest on my family name, my this, my that, and other. If anything, I can only imagine that added pressure. Like, you're from that family, you better be able to ball. They throw the ball at you when you were young. Like, you better get it together, right? You had the center and stuff. I'm sure they was like, okay, you so and so's son. Oh, you so and so's
Right.
nephew. Oh, you
Right.
right. So they came, but you had to position yourself as an athlete, as a coach, and as a man. Talk to us about you as a man coming to this and saying, I have my own principles, morals, and values that I bring to this. What are those? What are some of the values that you bring as a man, as someone who says, thank you, God, for doing it? What does that mean to you, and what are your values that you bring to the team and to this program?
Number one, I pride myself on high character. carrying myself for class, carrying myself, with the utmost respect for self and others. My mother, she definitely instilled a lot in me. She just seeing her, hard work, her perseverance to a lot of, things, help me definitely, made an impact on me. That's how I carry myself. Like I said, I want to earn everything. I don't want to be given anything. And that's just my mindset and my attitude towards everything I do. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, just being a class act, man. I want to represent myself, my name, my family to the utmost. And that's what I try to do on a daily basis.
I love that. That matters. That matters because they're watching, right? The young people are watching, and they're going to look
Absolutely.
at you like, Coach Boone, you kind of, they may not, they're not going to say you as young as they are, right? But they recognize, they going to
Yeah,
recognize like, you know what we know, you know some stuff, you're not that far removed. So the character you carry yourself with is going to say a lot. What do you think about the fact that there's always skepticism of every move, right? There's always people out there who are like, is this the right move? Is this the right thing? What do you say to those who are like, I don't, how do I, is he the right guy for the job? What do you think about that?
I mean, plain and simple, just watch my work. Watch me, make an impact on these kids. Watch me, do my thing, and the end product will speak for itself.
Yeah. That I think that's the right approach, because a lot of times we want to go at and debate with people that it's like, well, no, I'm in position now. And I teach a lot. I work with a lot of companies. I help them work on their company culture. And some of the wording that we use in a lot of the companies I work with is debate, then align. Debate, then
Right,
align. People may have opinions about things, but if we spend all of our time fighting against each other, complaining about what isn't right, or the first time you guys lose a game, oh, this is all wrong. Like, if that's the attitude we're going to have, we're never going to win. Like,
right,
we have to give people time. Talk to us about the thought. I heard you in another interview talk about the fact you said, give me some time, right?
right.
It's like, I just got here, right? So when you think about giving you time and building relationships with the youth, developing a culture, what does that look like to you? This isn't an overnight thing. You're playing a long game. Is that right?
No, yeah, yeah, and definitely not an overnight thing. My biggest thing that I learned, with taking over programs you're gonna have to have patience. I'm an impatient person. It's just some things, especially coaching. I feel like you should be able to do this. You should be able to do that. But going through different programs I've been through, the biggest thing is patience. And that's why I want to preach to everybody that support Canton McKinley basketball. That is, we have high expectations for ourselves. We're the winningest program in Ohio high school basketball history. We're used to winning. We're used to playing at a high level, competing at a high level. It's been up and down lately, but like I said, man, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the kids get accustomed to my style of coaching. My style of running a program. It's going to take time for me to get accustomed to how these kids are too. You know what I mean, and my staff as well. So patience is the key. I know. In due time, everything's going to go the way it's supposed to go.
I love it. When you talk about your style of coaching, what is Coach Spoon's style of coaching? Are you yelling and throwing clipboards? Are you quiet on the court and yelling in the locker room? Are you not yelling in your, like a Coach Tony Dungy kind of guy, like a Lovey Smith? Are you some mix in the middle? Like you're a laid back guy. You know what I mean? For the most part, you're just this calm, cool guy. What is Coach Spoon like?
Yeah, man, Coach Spurs is a little different. Don't let this smile and this laid back personality fool you. Coaching basketball and impacting kids, man, that's my craft. That's something I take. I take a big importance of. I try to get better every day. I get after it, but get after it in the right way. If I tell the kid what to do, I'm definitely building them up in the same breath. Helping them along the way to get better. In any aspect of life. But I'm a player's coach. I let my players play. I give them freedom, but in a controlled environment. Getting up and down. As long as you're playing hard, doing the right things. In the classroom, in the community, and in the on the basketball court, you don't have a good chance to play for me.
Right. I love that. That matters. Basketball is not a sport. Football is a sport where uh, when I played, they didn't cut anybody. We needed so many people. You know what I
Right.
mean? To go, there's injury. There's so much stuff. So if you can make it, it was like boot camp. It's like if you can make it through camp and conditioning and
Yeah,
2 days, you on the team, right? You may
right.
not play, on the team. Basketball, there's only so many. so many guys who can make the roster, right? What do you
Mhm.
look for when evaluating talent? Somebody has a child who's eighth grade about to come to ninth grade about to go to 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe they made the team last year, maybe they didn't, and they're like, okay, maybe it was the coach. Everybody says it was the coach. It's always the coach, right? The coach hated me, right? The coach didn't like my family. The coach, and I don't know, I guess whatever. But when you're evaluating talent, you and your staff, what are you looking for in the student athletes that you want to play for you?
Number one, are you coachable? Can you take criticism? Can you take praise? Can take everything that a coach gives you? Also, your body language. How you go through different things, how you go through different adversities. Whether a coach is getting on you or a coach is giving you praise, or you scoring a lot or you're not. How you carry yourself is something that I value a lot. Um, you know, but before any of that, the main thing is how you carry yourself in the classroom. How you carry yourself, in the community. Do you respect your parents? Do you do the right things at home? All that stuff, man. I was brought up that way. My mother and my father. I had the great, great grandmother Bay. Who instilled a lot of stuff in me, man. And that's what I look for in my players.
I love that. I think a lot of players are working on basketball skills, right? Or looking good on the court, right? They just trying to look fancy. There's a lot
Yeah,
of, I mean, think about growing up with Instagram, right? Or something where you could just watch these players playing and all day
yeah,
you
yeah,
just watching people look fancy. And some of them out there have some bad attitudes, right?
absolutely.
They some of the top players in the country. They flashy, they best AAU player, but they flexing in everybody's face. Every time you score, you gotta flex. Every time you score, you gotta flex in everybody's face. You're stepping over people. Like every time, like, what would you say to a young person who may be watching this about what you may be looking for? And then you played in college, you know what college coaches are looking for. Is it the flashy, cocky guy? Is there some room for that? I don't know. Talk to us about it. What does that fit in the game? Some or none, or what does that look like?
I can tell you, talking to different college coaches, their first question is, how is the kid? How is he coachable? How is he at home? It's not basketball stuff because they know you have talent. They know you can shoot the ball, you can dribble, you can jump high. Their main thing is, can they coach you? Can they get along with you? Can are you presentable? How do you talk to people? How do you carry yourself on social media? Those things matter. And that's why I try to preach to my players. Man, you always got to be conscious of how you represent yourself. And again, you're not just representing yourself; you're representing your mother, your father, your grandmother, the legacy you have for your family. And you have to always, be on guard, and carry yourself the right way, especially being a student athlete, man. You're not normal, sort of say, you
Right.
have to sacrifice some things, man, to be special. And that's what I try to preach to my players.
That's really important because we do live in a day and age where people are creating a persona online on social media for whatever reason. The guy may be just trying to get more girls or look cool amongst the other guy, whatever it is, not thinking college coaches and recruiters are looking at that stuff,
You're right,
and they're going to ask you about that stuff, right?
right.
So I was talking to Coach Hall the other day, and we were talking about preparing young athletes for college and beyond. That it's more to it than most parents know. They don't.
Hmm.
They're not looking at their kids' social media every day. They're not even necessarily checking their kids' phone. They're not. Kids will be
Right.
kids. Boys will be all this stuff we say until it comes time to get the scholarship. When it comes time for the interviews. When it comes and these young people have been enabled, right? Like if you were a star athlete since you were young, there's a lot of people who tell you your stuff don't
Absolutely.
stink, right? Like you ain't nothing wrong, you can't do nothing wrong because they're like, we might cash in off of you one day. So who am I to
Right.
complain about anything? When you think
Yeah.
about that, what is the importance of telling them the truth about their persona as they carry themselves on social media and elsewhere, and how that could play into their potential future? Why is it important for them to be conscious of that?
I think it's important. I think it's important to the kid the truth. You're not feeding them, stuff that they want to hear. You got to be real with these kids and let them know the real ins and outs of how to carry yourself, or what schools are looking for, or what even people in the workforce are looking for. You got to be very real with these kids and let them know that everything you do, whether even if it's a like, people are looking at those things. They can see what you like, they can see what what you comment on, and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So I definitely appreciate these kids, man. You always got to be conscious of your image. What you post, what you say, and things of that nature.
That's listen. I hadn't even thought about it. Not only what you post and say, but what you like and engage in. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that. Right?
yeah,
Like I'm thinking somebody's thinking, well, I don't say a lot. You look at my page; it's pretty clean, but they're watching you engage the world of social media. What's your stance on this? What are you saying about that? How are you engaging this stuff? That's not a positive thing. You seem to be doing that. Um, I always wonder. Sometimes people know they have friends who have done wrong, and they're pushing for their friend to not be held accountable. Say, right?
right, right,
Free so and so who did the thing they said they did, and some other
right,
family is saying we need justice for our child, and everybody and other
right.
people are saying, well, just free him. What? That's not. Is that just right? And,
No,
and and so for a college recruiter to look at that and say, you seem to be more connected with people who are doing things wrong than people who are doing things right. You seem to be more connected to perpetrators of crimes than victims of crimes. That's not a good look.
no,
And you jumping in because it's popular,
right.
you might have more to lose. When you talk to these young men about what they have to gain and what they have to lose, what is that conversation like? Because they're running around with some people who have no goals to go anywhere. Some of them are barely in school, but they're trying to influence them and could take them off of their course. When you talk to them about the importance of their friend group, what is that conversation like?
Kids gonna be kids, so you're gonna have a conversation, but they may be listening, they may not be listening, but at least you gave them that message. You got the message across. And you can't stop after you that one conversation. You got to keep going, and keep on them. And that's what I do. Just I don't quit on kids. People could say that's a flaw of mine, but to me, I think that's one of my strengths because I always feel like somebody has a chance to bear their circumstance or bear their situation. And I'm never gonna quit on the kid. You know what I mean? Never gonna not give them a chance, especially if I see the potential in them and I know they're young, they're learning. I was in their shoes before. If I didn't have people who gave me second chances or multiple chances, I wouldn't be where I am today. So just continue to talk to those kids, man. Continue to talk to them and let them know that the right from wrong thing to do.
That's so key and so important. You and I talked before the show, and ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Coach Boone today, please put your question in the comments. If you could put a Q before the question, that'll help me see it better. And I'm going to get to some questions here. If you have a question for Coach Boone, we may not get to all the questions, but I do have a couple questions already that I saw in the comments, and I've starred those in the system here. So I'll ask those questions. If somebody else has a question for Coach, please go ahead and put it in the comments. We will answer, do some Q&A here with the audience here in just a minute. But I love your thoughts and about not giving up on young people because so many people do. So many people don't come to games because they've already given up,
Right.
right? Or they've given up on the whole school system. They've given up on the whole district. They've given up on everything, and they're angry and they're mad and they're distant. And at the end of the day, it's like parents fighting and the children lose, right? You may not like everything going on in the district. You may not like everything going on in the school. You may not like everything going on with the principals and the sports and whatever. But when we disengage, the children lose. When the parents are fighting, the children lose. So I love the idea that you're going to be a person that is going to be stable and going to be there. Now let's talk about this. There are students at Alliance High School right now who said Coach Boone was going to be there for me here too. He's not
Yeah.
here right now, right? Talk to us about the process and the feeling. I know I can feel it in your words, that it's in your heart, that you have great love for those athletes that you coached at Alliance. What is your message to them, and what was that like to have to make that decision?
Yeah, the message to them was, even though I'm not there physically, I'm still there. I'm still there to support you in any way I can. Everybody has my phone number. During the season, if I got a chance to get over there, I'm going to get over there to be a support. Like I said, just because I'm not coaching you, that doesn't affect my relationship with you or the love or the care I have for you. It was absolutely the hardest decision of my life in my working career. Those kids were amazing. My staff was amazing. The community was amazing. The support was there. Like I said, it was very hard. I had a couple of sleepless nights, a couple, going back and forth. weighing my pros and cons, of both situations, man. It just came down to, I felt like it was the right time to come home. But, Alliance was great to me. I have nothing but love and respect for everybody over there. And I wish them all the well, going forward.
Yeah, that's I know from talking to you, and I can tell from things you've shared in other interviews and other places that you, you by no means was it an easy decision. Even though this
No,
is home, your heart is here in a way. You built those bonds, you built those relationships, you connected with that community, and you were all in. Everywhere you went, I'm assuming you didn't go there thinking,
no.
I'm only going to be here for a minute. You were planning on being there. Coming home um, is a powerful, powerful thing, especially in this area. We went through LeBron coming and going and coming home, and we celebrated that. To hear you're coming home, I think is what people believe is exactly what this community needs. I want to shout out a business that has been supporting us from the beginning, and this business actually happens to be created and built by the sister of Coach Boone, Miss Keena Woods. If you guys have not heard of Sugar Baby Cookies, we want you guys to check them out, okay? You want to go to sugarbabycookies.com tonight at 8 p.m. And with this special code, you're going to get 15% off of what they're calling their April box. Their April box of the month has these cookies here that you're looking at right here. Now, I know you've been to Crumble Cookie and you've been to other cookies for some reason. I don't know what y'all were doing at those other cookie shops. We're not judging you. But you should be checking out Sugar Baby Cookies, built by someone right here from Canton, Ohio, while she has found herself living in the beautiful Florida area. She comes home often and obviously is very excited about her brother. I think her brother's move here, Camp McKinley, may bring her closer to home. If anybody knows her, we've all been pulling on her, like, I guess you're coming home, right? So we're going to see it. She said she'll definitely be here more than she was, I'm sure, during basketball season. But write this down, code Lucas Live 15. Lucas Live 15. Lucas Live 15 is going to get you 15% off of the April box. Lucas Live 15 will get you 15% off of the April box. Make sure you guys check out Sugar Baby Cookies at sugarbabyscookies.com. Your sister, she's not playing around with sugar babies, is she?
No, no, no. Shout out my sister, man. She does an amazing job, with those cookies, man. She's an amazing woman, amazing mother, amazing wife, man. Definitely support her. She's the best.
She is. Shout out to Keena and Dave Woods, great friends of mine. They call me sometime, and you never know on the show. They're the only ones who I let just come through and call and get on the show somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they've been there for me since day one. Like late nights when I first started the show, and I was grieving the loss of my mom, and I'd finish the show, and I'd still be sitting here trying to figure out how to make the show better, how to just process life. Like I was grieving. They would call me, they would talk to me. I talked to them and the kids, and the kids stay up all night. By the way, their kids never go to bed. I don't know. They were homeschooled, so they just stay up till after midnight. I don't know, but I love their kids, and they homeschool their kids. And one thing I want to say about that is what they've instilled in their children. Their children have such a light inside of them. Like that's one thing I notice about they have a lightness, as in they don't have the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they have a
Mhm.
light, like a glow, like this genuine joy and peace. So shout out to Keena and Dave and what they've done. Um,
Sure.
and it speaks to the legacy of your mother, your father, your family, everyone who has made an impact. So Coach, we got some questions from the community question time, community
Yeah.
question time. So people
No.
want to ask some things of you. I'm going to get to some of these. Uh, so we can't get to legit's questions because legit is just clowning the whole time, so you can't
It's,
necessarily get to his questions. But he puts them in there. Shout out to legit.
hey,
So
I'm gonna keep it professional with my cousin, legit. All right.
okay, that's
I'll talk to him after this.
he talks to me afterwards. Oh man, he's the biggest Celtics fan, and you'll ever meet. And shout out to the Celtics; they got a great squad this year. All right, Miss Gloria Pope asks, when did you know coaching was your calling? Which coach do you admire and respect the most, and why? So let's start with that first question. When did you know coaching was something you wanted to do, or was your calling?
Honestly, when I got injured and tore my Achilles, I feel like my basketball career was over, but I wanted to still stay in the game. So when I came back home, I definitely wanted to get in the coaching realm. I didn't know where it's going to be, in the middle school level or elementary or whatever the case may be. I was blessed, to get my first, head coach, excuse me, not head coach, but my first coaching opportunity as a JV assistant coach. So, I definitely, fell in love with it from there.
That's That's beautiful because a lot of times people want to get into something like coaching, and like you said, they start coaching little Johnny's AAU second grade
Yeah,
team that we call travel, but we only travel across the street to the games,
right.
and we travel to this other school, and we need more coaches doing those things, right? And you looked at it and said, "I'll do what I have to do."
Yeah,
But what a blessed opportunity again. That's favor. That's God. That's a real blessing, to be able to
yeah.
start where you started. Certainly has been a benefit. So the other part of that question was which coach do you admire and respect the most and why? Now, maybe this is a coach you played for, maybe this is a coach you've seen, uh, you know, not directly, but maybe seen. Which coach and why?
Definitely as from the playing standpoint, I definitely respect and admire Coach Hoover. And the way he went about business, the way he prepared us, to be ready for games and things of that nature. Definitely a great coach. His record, and what he's done speaks for itself. From my coaching standpoint, every coach that I coached under, Keith Knox, Brian Bolden, you know, Manny, my guy Manny from Beechwood, my guy TJ from Euclid. Everybody that I coached under, I took a little bit of something from and kind of made my own little recipe. So it definitely made an impact on me.
I love it. I love it. Taking ingredients from other coaches and making your own recipe. Great, great, great thing. I was just reading a book the other day. It was saying there's nothing new under the sun, which we know is a concept. It's a biblical principle, and they were saying there's value in taking from others. Like, don't look at it like, oh, I stole that from them. It's like, no, I didn't take it from them as in some. I took it. It's an honor that they were able
Right.
to plant it in me, and I took the best parts of my parents, my coaches, my family, my friends. We're all doing that all the time. So
Absolutely.
I think it's a smart way to go about it. All right, another question. Our producer, Amanda Jean Dukes, who also happens to be a family to you, says athletes know the game is majority mental. How do you plan on preparing the students for the mental part of the game?
I think for the mental side, it's all about preaching it. Being prepared for the game, be prepared, before you even go out on the court. It's all about the mental side of the game. Being locked in 100% completely. Whether you got to go back, in your locker and put some headphones in, think about the game plan, think about scouting reports and things of that nature. But everybody think it's all about running up and down the court, blocking the shot, getting a stop. But no, a lot of it got to do with the mental side. And that's what I preach. You got to be prepared before you go on the court for sure.
Love it, love it. Big part of the game is the mental part, and for all the parents out there of your student athletes, us being able to prepare them mentally, and it's not every kid. And I'm guessing this, Sean, you could agree that every kid doesn't need somebody to just yell at them and say get over it.
Right.
Some people need help getting over, right? They like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the tools, the skills. Maybe I wasn't
Yeah.
raised in a family that taught me how to get over it. I punch through stuff. I'm angry. I'm fighting with my teacher. I'm not showing up at school. My way of coping is a dysfunctional way of coping because no one ever showed me the right way. So we got to put tools in the toolbox so they know how to cope. If we don't, we're asking our young people to do something that a lot of us adults still don't know how to do. There's a lot of
Right.
parents still struggling to deal with stress and frustration, myself included. We're still going through a process of figuring out how to do that. And then we look at these athletes like, get over it right now. You signed up for this. It's like, I love that you said you're going to be a player's coach because I think this day and age, these young people need that.
I mean, it's the same thing as teaching. Everybody learns differently. Everybody needs to be coached differently. Everybody needs to be reached differently. So, you just gotta, figure out, as you get to know these players, what's the best way to motivate them, what's the best way, to get them to be the best them on a daily basis.
Love it. All right, let's go. Next question is great question here. Kimberly Ann asks, "What specifically do you need from the fan slash community?" We talked about that a little bit earlier, but what could someone do?
Just be positive. Nowadays, the day and age is all about social media. These kids see comments. These kids see what people are saying
Mm,
and things of that nature. So, we may lose a game or two. Just be positive. In what you say and uplift these kids. And come out and support them, man, and be there for them. In the trying times, in the adverse times that we will face. We're not going to go. 29-0. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody, it's going to be, adverse times, in this season coming up and in the future coming. So, again, just be positive, man, and watch what you say, and please be, supportive for these kids.
Uh, uh, Phenomenal, phenomenal. Great question and great answer, Coach. Let's not, the first sign of adversity or a tough season or a tough time or whatever goes on, people quit so fast. They're like, never mind, I was a
Right.
fan, or they're on here today. Anyway, it's a very clear biblical reference of people who celebrated somebody and then crucified the dude. So people
Right.
were quick to do that. One minute they're like, "We love you," and the next minute they're like, "Crucify him, get him out of here." Let's not do
I
that.
mean, with me, man, I know it come with the territory. I know it's gonna come. I mean, I can take it. I'm a grown man. I'm a coach. I've been a coach. It's said before, so it's all good with me. But like I said, for these kids, just be positive with them and let them know that you're gonna be in their corner no matter what.
Uh, Absolutely. And shout out to Aspire Today Inc. Amanda put in the comments an amazing program that helps our student athletes grow and stay mentally focused on the game and in life in the classroom. Shout out to Lisa Lucas, who is the founder of Aspire Today. People who have student athletes who may be interested in some help or support, you can reach out to me and I can get you connected. They're doing some great work in the community. Amanda, thank you so much for calling them out, shouting them out. That's important. Your brother's here. He has a question for you. He said, and it's a real question. He ain't clowning, I don't think. He
Uh,
said,
I don't know
he's
the contestant guy.
right. He's like, I don't know. What about his question? He said, what about the parents and team moms from when you played that played a big role in your team's success? And what is your message to the current players' families? So thinking about those, like the Miss Audie type people, those people in the community that played a big role. And what is your message to current player families and how they could play a role?
Again, man, it's gonna take a village. When I play, those people, the Audie Everett's, the Carol Morgans, the Shirley Weatherspoons, all those, parent figures, the Michael Graveleys, all those people, even though we weren't their child, we kind of look at them as, parent figures, and support system. So my message is just being there for not just only your kid, but everybody in the program.
Love it. Love it. Great question. Great question. Appreciate that. Another question we have here. I think it's a really good question. What is the plan for the kids? I think she meant middle school. Let me see. I think she rephrased that. Here we go. She said, "What is the plan for the kids in middle school? Is there any thought yet?" And I mean, you just got here. Working with the kids in middle school level to prepare them for the next level, high school basketball. Any thoughts about that yet?
To me, man, it's no different than my plan for the kids at the high school level. I want all these kids to develop, not only in the classroom but on the court. I'm going to be a part of every level, whether it's third grade, second grade, excuse me, third grade, fifth grade, middle school, high school. I'm going to be there, every step of the way to help them in any way I can. But also just hold them to a high standard in the classroom and on the court.
Love it. It starts young, right? Getting them ready and getting that pride to be a bulldog, right? And what does it mean to play at the next level? What does it take? It's easier to teach them young and to get
Yeah.
them ready. When you think about basketball right now, what do you think is missing from what these students are learning about the game on the court? Like, what is it? I mean, people got handles and step backs and all kinds of. Is that what it is? Is it more fundamental? What do you think more people need to be working on even from a young age?
I think it's more fundamental. Everybody want to look at, like you said, the highlights. Everybody's going to post your best thing that you did. They're not
Right.
going to post when you missed a shot or when dribble the ball off your foot, wherever the case may be. I think the biggest thing we got to get back to the fundamentals. And we got to get back to great fundamental coaches at the youth level. When I came up, we had the Benny Frakes, we had the R.C. Hills, we had the Todd Broyles, the
Yeah.
Coach Turk. We had those guys who took time out of their day and dedicated it to teaching the game the right way. The Coach Wesley's at Bellstone. All those coaches, man, were vital in all of our development. And I think that's something we got looking to try to get back going. Guys who are going to teach the game the right way, but also not just teaching the game the right way, but teaching us how to be young men.
Mm.
Carry ourselves the right way and doing things the right way in the classroom.
Love it. Couple more questions, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. You guys have been great. This has been fun to do some community Q and A. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for your questions. uh,
Before
uh,
before we go on, I got to do this before I get killed. Can I shout out my daughter, Kennedy Watkins, Weatherspoon? You know, she's the boss, sort of say. So I don't want to shout her out before I get in trouble.
hey, don't mess that up. Yeah, there was a comment earlier. Yeah, I tried to tell you like, hey, look, but yeah. So yes, shout out to the boss. What a beautiful. How old is she?
She's 10.
She's 10. Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful. What a cool thing for her to be able to watch her dad and be at an age where she can appreciate it and see it, um,
absolutely.
and be around and just be around the program. That is awesome. So shout out to her. That's awesome. So my guy Brian here asked, great question. What strategies you use to identify and nurture talent in your athletes?
Again, I look at if kids are coachable, the way they carry themselves, the way they react to different circumstances. And also, the hunger. Are they hungry to be better? Not only for to impress a coach, but for themselves. Do they want to improve on a daily basis? And that's why I look at it all the time. I'm evaluating players. Man, is are you hungry? Because I feel like right now in this generation, a lot of kids aren't hungry like that.
Mm,
How we came up. These kids are not working on their game on a daily basis. They're not playing basketball all the time. And I feel like if I could see that, man, in a kid, they could be special.
I love it. Yeah, it's different, right? Every time you could touch a ball, you were playing ball. Even when they
Yeah.
said sit down and don't play ball, rest your legs and sit down, you're like, they playing over here though. I got to go play.
Right.
And now a lot of athletes are spending more time playing the video game basketball. And I'm not anti gaming and whatever. It's all good, but uh, that's not gonna get it right. You could be the
Right.
best at 2K, and you ain't
Right.
spent 2 minutes on your own game. And that's one thing I always challenge people. Everybody out there, this goes for everybody. And um, huge LeBron fan. It was really fun watching the Lakers win today, and just watching the Cavs and how great they're playing. But one thing I always tell myself is I'm not going to spend my whole life watching other people play their game and win the championships in their life while I fail to play my game and win the championships in my life. I
Wow.
have things to do in my
Yeah,
own life. I love
absolutely.
watching it, but I can't stay up all night and watch every Lakers game. I can't. I
Right.
can't stay up and watch every Cavs game for that matter. I can't stay up and watch anybody. And even when I'm up, I can't necessarily even give the time to it because sometimes I got to be in here making sure that the things that I'm pursuing are successful. That I'm whatever your basketball is in life. Mine may be a microphone as a speaker or as a host or reading and studying things so I'm more well versed in things going on in business or in life. And whatever that is, I have to pick up the ball. I got to play my game every day. So somebody
Right.
out there, you're not playing your game, you're watching everybody else. And when you watch everybody else, you'll celebrate some success and you'll find yourself being critical of a lot of other people because you're really frustrated with yourself. So you rather see other people fail and lose because when you see other people winning, it reminds you of what you're not doing. So I
Right.
challenge somebody out there, play your game, pick up your ball, practice
Yep.
your sport, your craft, your art, whatever it may be, so that you can be the best at it that you can possibly be. I'm going to do one more question. Damon Thomas, my man, this is my cousin here. Damon Thomas asks, do you see diversity as a positive factor in coaching? What are your thoughts on that?
In terms of what?
So Damon, well
Uh,
let me state it.
what
When
do you
you
mean by
think of you're at Kent, I would say, let me think of it this way. You're at Canton McKinley, which is like the diversity scale has shifted quite a bit over the years. Like it just keeps it's more inner city. There's more minority students, right? And then to get a
that?
coach for many of these young people that looks like them, do you think that plays a role in it? I mean, yes, or, I mean, it may or may not in your mind. What do you think? Does that play a role in being a diverse coach?
I think it can, but I think it's all about the coach and how they relate to the kid, and how they carry themselves, and if the kid know that they're genuine about being a positive impact on them. Kids nowadays identify a lot of stuff fast. And to me personally, I don't really think it matters as far as color. It's all about can you impact these kids in the right way, and are you genuine, and things of that nature. So I mean, I think kids do gravitate towards me because of me being looking like them or things of that nature. But it's all about the person. I actually, I mean, if you're genuine, if you're there for the right reasons, all that stuff is gonna come out.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Coach, I thank you so much for your time today. I don't know if all your interviews lasted an hour plus. I don't guess that they all did. But
All
I'm
good.
so grateful for your time and your willingness. I would love to extend an invitation for you to come back on as often as you like. I mean, I'd love for us to continue this conversation, even as the season goes along, to have some touch points where the same community who's been here to support you and wants to hear this story can hear it from both Canton McKinley graduates. For me, it's such a blessing to have built my own media company and to be able to engage someone like yourself. A lot of the outlets that we have been able to talk to, while we're grateful for those outlets, they're just outlets that have existed. It wasn't necessarily a product of Canton McKinley. So it is an honor and a pleasure to be talking to you. And are you open to doing this again?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it's a great opportunity for me. Like I said, thank you for reaching out. And wanting me to get on his show. I definitely we want to do stuff in the future.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. You guys show some love for Coach Spoon in the comments. Put your spoons in the chat. Hit the hearts, hit the likes. Tell somebody about it. If you didn't share this broadcast yet, hit the share now. You can still share it so that when people scroll on your page, they see, oh, wait, I missed it, and they can go back and watch the replays. We'll have some clips cut from this episode soon out there for you guys. Put the hearts, put the love. Tell somebody about it. Thank you guys so much. Coach Spoon, thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for what's to come. We are excited. We are behind you. And we wish you the best on everything you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Real quick, I want to just shout out my support system, man. My
Yes.
parents been in my corner, from day one. My fiance, she's been there as well. I want to shout her out too. She got her first head coaching job as a volleyball coach at Bedford High School. So definitely want to big her up on that. My kids, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, Kyle Stone, Legit Smith, Jerome, Jason Snow, Juwan Snow, all those guys, aunts and uncles, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for always being in my corner. And we here now. Let's go.
I love it. We here now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Canton McKinley, things are changing, things are improving, and it's all about us together. It's not all on his shoulders. We're going to do this thing together. Thank you so much, Coach Spoon, for being here. I'll be with you in just a minute, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us again. If you guys have not heard about Sugar Baby's Cookies special today, make sure you guys check it out. Go to sugarbabycookies.com and you can get 15% off by just putting the code LucasLive15. LucasLive15 is going to get you 15% off Sugar Baby Cookies starting at 8 p.m. It's time. It's already open and going. Also, shout out to the basketball game. The community game is coming. The Stark County All-Star 23 game is coming April 29th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the field house. It's going to be some legends coming back. Some people from all over the county that used to play. Guys, girls, we got cheerleaders joining. You guys check that out. If you guys didn't come last year, make sure you guys check that out this year, April 29th. Get your tickets. Check it out. If you need more information, please feel free to reach out to me. And shout out to the Beauty Spot, downtown Canton. The Beauty Spot is going to be joining us in celebration of the prom and doing some sponsorships. We do have the prom coming up. Lucas Live Media will be live with the Red Carpet Experience. We created the Red Carpet Experience for Canton McKinley's prom. That's where it all started. We've since done weddings and other events. If you're interested in the Red Carpet Experience for your special event, please reach out to us at contact@Lucas Live Media. Reach out to myself or my producer, Amanda Jean Dukes. And don't forget, again, May 6th, prom. Make sure you like and follow Lucas Live Media so you get that notification and let you know they're live at the prom. Here come all those students with all those nice clothes, beautiful hairdos, cool shoes, all the fun athletes that you saw play on the court are going to step in with their nice clothes on to the band, to the students, to everyone. Check us out May 6th. We're going to have some more shows between now and then. Make sure you guys stay locked in with us here at Lucas Live Media. My name is Lucas Tyndale. It's my absolute honor and pleasure to bring great content to you like we did today. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. We'll see you next time on Lucas.